Hi, welcome to Hooked on Cheese. I'm Raymond Hook, and today I have a very, very special guest. We have Greg Blais, who runs the cheese and charcuterie counter at Eataly's flagship store here in New York City. He also is the host of the Heritage Radio Network's cheese talk show, Cutting the Curd. It's a great show. It has cheesemakers, cheese personalities on it. And also, Greg has been my friend for a long time, so I'm very honored that he would come and join us. And today we're talking about, of course, Italian cheese. Greg brought us three great examples. So Greg is going to teach us about these cheeses. So Greg, welcome and tell us what you brought us for today.
Well, first of all, I want to say thanks for having me on, Raymond.
Oh, man.
And saying all of those nice things about
It's
me.
all true. It's all true.
That must have been hard. That must have been really hard.
Yeah, $5 goes a long ways these days.
So I brought three cheeses for us to check out today, all of which are Italian in nature. We do about 75% Italian at Eataly. We also do really, really nice showing of U.S. artisan cheeses because the company does make a big push to support local businesses and producers. But we're really privy to some of the best producers in Italy. You know, we've got great connections and people do good stuff for us because we sell lots of cheese. So I brought three that I'm liking right now. One of them is, which is to my left here, is a specialty of northern Italy called Robiola. They're usually only in Lombardia and Piemonte. This one is Piemontese in nature. Robiola are soft ripened cheeses made either of singular milk or mixed milk. This is mixed milk. These you see a lot. They're called Robiola Due Latte. The difference between this one and ones that you might see in a lot of other places is that this instead of being made out of a mixture of a mixture of sheep and cow milk, this is goat and cow. And when the label's on there, there's a little Italian flag that denotes that all the milk used to make this cheese comes from the region that the cheese was made in, which is really important in terms of protecting the terroir.
The tradition of it as well.
It's super glossy and it's bright.
Can you cut it open and show us the interior? So who's the producer on this?
Casafficcio in the Alta Longa. I buy it through a maturer and distributor, Luigi Guffanti.
Guffanti is...
They don't make the Robiola.
Right.
They send them
They
over.
have a history of supplying some of the best cheeses, Italian cheeses that I've had.
They love the cheese. So this is a younger cheese. It's a little bit firm. Like I said, it's got a really ivory white color. The one's made of, with a lot more cow's milk, a lot more sheep's milk, a little bit more golden color.
Yeah.
You know? The paste is pretty supple, tasty. It's good cheese for right now. I also brought you a cheese from Toscana that's called Tamburello. It's a little sheep's milk cheese that I've never gotten before, and it's rich and creamy, made from milk of selected milkings and aged in little earthenware pots. The cheese itself is fantastic. The trouble with some of these cheeses, if you don't buy them from reputable sources, is that young cheese like that can be really rubbery. But this is not. It's really,
and the flavor hasn't developed yet.
No, a lot of times those just taste sort of bland, a little salty.
They taste a little rubbery.
You know, this is really rich.
Also, I just want to back up. When you said this was a little young, when the Robiolas age, they do get a little more spongy, a little squishy, and softer in texture as well.
All these little eyes will sort of disappear afterwards, and the cheese really gets glossy. You know what I mean? It oozes out just a little bit. It's not a runny cheese per se, but it borders on that. These get less moist as they get older, but these are probably made to be consumed, quickly.
And the last cheese. This is like the king of cheeses.
Yes, this is some Parmigiano from Reggio Emilia. This is the Vacca Rossa. It's like 30-month minimum aged raw milk, partially skimmed cow cheese. This is the older. When I say older, this is more. I also don't want to use the word authentic, but the milk
traditional.
Yeah, in my experience when I travel overseas, and when I talk to people who are very close to the product, 18 to 20 is preferable. I think for most people that I've run into, extra aged Parmigiano in Italy, I didn't see as much. Which makes a lot of sense because they have it. It's right there. They don't have to. It doesn't go to a warehouse in America and stay there for another 6 months, 8 months. We carry this at Eataly. It's fantastic. It's super rich.
Or very few people have had this cheese from a freshly cracked wheel, especially like this is the center cut. This is from the heart or the soul of the cheese. I mean, this is the premier, in my opinion, the premier piece of the Parmesan.
It's a nice piece of cheese, brother.
Got us off a little piece. Let's see what it looks like.
Parmigiano, you sort of push the pieces apart, you know? You don't really cut it.
You know, this cheese is still, it has a good moisture content. It's not, it doesn't fall apart. It's, you know, beautiful shape. But also, like I said, buying this cheese from somebody who cuts whole wheels and cuts it regularly, this cheese does not get any better than it is right now.
No.
And you know, I'm not waiting. I'm diving in.
Nah, you should.
Man, the flavor on it though, what you're looking for in Parmesan, it's like
It's
very
all right
authentic in this
Yeah.
cheese.
Super rich, fantastic, sweet. you know?
Yeah. And you know, the uses for this cheese is just multitude. I mean, you can grate it, you can shred it, you can carve it, slice
You
it.
can use this cheese as currency, you know, and it was
They-
once
yeah,
used as such. There's banks in Reggio Emilia that use this as a sort of a form of currency.
You're eating money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful. All of these cheeses are spectacular. Whenever you're in New York, you have to go by Eataly. You can't experience it through anyone else's eyes. You have to see it yourself. The store it's giant. And at the center of it all is Greg's Cheese and Charcuterie Shop. Besides having hundreds and hundreds of cheeses, he has some of the finest charcuterie available as well.
Salumi.
Salumi,
You know,
excuse
the
me.
Italians call it salumi.
I'm
Not
sorry.
my shop, it's their shop, but I
Yeah.
definitely run it.
Yeah.
I've been there for a long time. We have great stuff. Really, really fantastic stuff there.
And, you know, the cheese. This is where you go to get the best Italian cheese.
I would have to say so.
So I want to say thank you for watching. Thanks to Greg for coming over. And as I always like to say, hug your cheesemonger. And this is one of my favorite ones right here. This guy is my go-to guy for cheese. Thank you so much, Greg.
care.
Appreciate it.
It's alright.